Yeah, but I'm trying to see about like the system sound. I guess set to default. Yeah, now it is. I don't know what happened. Like, you never know. Computer. Oh, I know my computer is giving me all kinds of problems. Um, and so I went ahead and ordered a new computer. And that
Oh,
it might be showing up on my birthday. Well, I mean, like legitimately, the the case shattered. It keeps beeping. It won't. It randomly will boot, and it's like I've been just like trying to scrape it out a little bit, day by day, just to keep it like on its life. But then I was like, I was like, all right, with the case shattering and all the beeping and it not booting, where it's like yeah, maybe it would take, 2 or 3 times and it would boot up. Now I
yeah.
could spend 30 minutes to try and get it to boot. And I was like, all right, so I'm going to strip this for parts. I think I already somebody who wanted to buy my 3080. And I was like, great. But I went and ordered a Starforge system, which that's what, when I asked around online, is like a lot of people recommended that, which
Yeah.
is Asmongold's company. I was like, all right, so regardless,
It's,
I will be able to tell you guys how I feel about it. And they say it could show up next Saturday, which is my birthday. And if it does show up next Saturday, that's gonna be really fun. That's gonna be a fun day. But it means I will have to install the
has
games
it
and stuff.
for machines.
What's up?
It's not been your year for machines, has it?
No, they have had so many things break. Thanks, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for confirming. It sounds also working on YouTube. We had to replace the fridge. We had to replace the fence. Like, yeah, but that's life, man. Things break, So it's just like, okay.
Mm.
How are you? Feeling better now?
Voice acting isn't bad.
The enemy withdrew after you took out King Vert. I'm glad
It's gonna
you
be
weren't
so
seriously injured.
like the MMO landscape is gonna be so fascinating to see how it plays out because you have more games that are really high quality. Because I would rate this in the high quality place that don't have a subscription, and it's going to be interesting to see how, if anything changes within like MMO monetization for WoW and Final Fantasy 14.
I have a friend in Laslan named Martinet.
Best thing those two games could do is go with a single player mode.
Yep, that's true. They could always do
Um,
that.
The storage manager and
just do it that way. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think any MMO from Korea will catch on in the West to how it was in the past, mainly just because of the monetization culture in Korea.
Yeah.
Free to play still has a stigma in the West, and it probably always will. I don't think Lost Art really changed that.
Yeah.
I think it showed everybody how many people were willing to go the Korean route and just start paying through the nose for basically what should be basic youth quality of life features.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, I think there's also the Gamba culture has become more popular, and that's kind of just where people have gone with gotcha games. So that's also competing for that audience. Why play a Korean MMO when you can just play Genshin Impact?
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
I think Guild Wars 3 will be a telltale of how they do it, because they were buy. And they've been the longest proponent of buy to play in my mind, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So, if they come
out my headphone battery, just 1 second. All right, headphones back on. Sorry. I like that I can just swap out the battery and keep on going, and the station that this hooks up to also charges the backup battery. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
I think if Guild Wars 3 comes out and it's free to play, that'll be worrying. I think if they continue what they did with the buy to play model, it would be positive in my mind. It would be a very positive note in my mind, because I don't mind buy to play with a bit of like cosmetic cash up. I don't mind that, but I also wish games had parental controls to turn it off as well. Like World of Warcraft has a parental control system for their cash shop. So the cash shop doesn't even appear on my menu screen anymore. It's just grayed out, so I don't even see it. which is good.
That's the truth about it. Is that like I don't spend time complaining about video game monetization because as any kind of system of economy, I'm like, I just ignore it. I don't touch it. And then whenever a game makes me feel like I need it, like they need to get in my pockets for me to have a fun time, then I just say, well, all right, I'm gonna go play something else, because there's countless other games that I have in my library alone. You know, like I picked up Hades 1 and 2. I haven't touched those yet.
From my mind, it's always the reason why it was popular was because it managed to pick a bunch of kids as they were just coming into that sort of, teenage years, early,
Yeah, it's what Roblox and Fortnite have done.
Yeah.
Right now, like and those are also older games that people are putting their time into and not checking out the newer stuff, which is causing the industry a lot of stress.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing the same 3 colors of gold, purple, and like green neon all in every single game. There's I think there was another, sort of hero shooter come out, and I'm just like, just recently, and it just
Concord from PlayStation.
It's so many, it just looks mediocre. It's just not, like, the market's just too saturated with these hero shooters.
Thanks to the star fragment power within your body.
Accounts. Link your Amazon Games ID account to your Steam account and receive 2 exclusive Animoti at launch. How do what link? Do I have an Amazon Games account?
Yeah, so you can just type in Amazon Games. It's probably the same as your rank.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's me logged in, so I guess this is my code. And sign in to Amazon. All right. Go ahead and do that. Profile for me? Yeah, that's me. We weren't able to find an Amazon Games ID account to link to this Amazon account. Create a new one. Okay. I will create an account. Is this like a Twitch thing? Like, can I? No, it doesn't let me. It does let me log into Twitch. Let me log in with Twitch.
Yeah, it's Twitch because that's how you get your rewards.
We weren't able to find an Amazon Games ID with Twitch. All right, create account. Let's see here. Birthday next Saturday.
I remember having to do it for Destiny when I wanted to get like free engrams and stuff like that.
Your account has been created. Display name. Unsupported characters. What's that? Here we go. Calm Liquid is a suggestion. Let's see here. And confirm. I am now linked. All right, we did it. What region are you in, Kai? Linking has been completed. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I was like, I'm signing in with my other Amazon stuff. What's this mean? Leap at me.
The amount of games not available in specific regions is insane to me, especially after the health situation.
Yeah, I get it from, like, if that's their plan. Oh, and Africa, fascinating. Yeah, I know that they've talked about like adding in, and they're like with, I think, Throne of Liberty, or like they're actually going to be the publisher in Japan. So like within like the SEA region, that's gonna, I think, be a huge help for them. But it's like, yeah, it's fascinating to me. Yeah. The Aetherites. Like, let's see how directly Final Fantasy is.
Who had usurped the throne, but his dominion was taken by the Archean Legion. However, Laslan was freed again by the Founders Order, led by Captain Da Vinci, and the Laslan Allied Resistance Forces were founded here.
5 paddle pass levels with Lucent. I don't know if y'all can hear that. The PC is beeping, but yeah, if I get my new PC next Saturday, that would be really freaking sweet.
Are you
Because
sure? Does your motherboard have an audio card in it?
Uh-huh.
Do you think? Have you tried disabling the audio card?
I have disabled everything, and I have put like that's where it's like people are like, oh yeah, I was like, I don't have fun with this. I don't have fun troubleshooting computers. I don't, I did it for so long, when I got started out in my career, and I'm like, no, like if it's, I'll try. I'll give it the college try. Like I'll give it the college try, but then, when the whole case just shattered and just poured glass all over my room, I was just like, all right.
Oh, did you have a glass case?
Yeah, I have a glass case, and it's like, and it was
How'd
like,
you
it
knock it
wasn't, and
over?
I literally like, carefully closed it and set it on to the thing, and it's when I moved my fingers, just, like I didn't drop it, I just let it rest, but as soon as it like touched the thing, the whole thing just went and just shattered on me. I was like,
You see, because I worked for Dell for so long, I kind of hate PC components at this point because I had to make quotes for them every single day.
yeah.
And sure, it taught me a lot, but anything when I see like you have to, insert, a 3080, I just don't care anymore. I don't want to do it ever again. So that's why GeForce Now is just great for me. I'm just going to get like a micro form factor PC for like £200, put GeForce Now on it, or get like Shadow TV or whatever it is, and just stick it on a monitor, or use my iPad now. I don't want to deal with having to deal with graphics cards anymore, or do I need to update my RAM? I just don't want to deal with it.
I hear you 100%, dude. It's interesting, Kaz, then, because if you can play Guild Wars 2, like, I'd be curious as to why you couldn't play TNL from Africa, unless that, like, I mean, a VPN would exist, but within data centers and more, like, there are data centers that are on that part of the time zone. Like, maybe not directly in Africa. I guess maybe you're in South Africa.
I'm surprised a lot of companies haven't done edge computing with cloud servers yet in the region, because it could be an actual regulatory reason for it. So I'm surprised they haven't said, okay, we're going to put almost a regulatory compliant version of the game in that region and just post it there for people to access. Which it boggles my mind that companies are still, suffering from, regional restrictions at this point.
Well, what about the other one?
No, I want to play in that TV.
Yeah?
Yeah, but she's not letting me. I told her to give it to me, but she won't.
And did you tell her nicely to give it to you?
Yeah.
How did you tell her to give it to you? Practice it on me. What did you say to her?
Can you give that to me, please?
That's how you said it? So when I go ask Annie, what's she going to say?
She's gonna say, I was teaching. I had to get
There you go.
Okay. One second. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to go address this.
What's all that stuff in your bag? We can even help take your stuff to the crafters.
Why did they block Amazon Game Studio on Lost Ark as well?
If you're not sure how to organize your stuff, just let me know. If you're not sure how to organize your stuff, just let me know.
All right, I'm back.
So I looked into the reason why they apparently block it is because apparently Amazon Game Studio wasn't given the licensing for the region.
Interesting. So regional licensing.
Yeah.
Fascinating. That's where VPNs just come in.
It's just a pain, you know. You think EMEA, because it's often treated as a single market, and by a lot of companies, we just have one regional license.
Bought the leveling pass. We'll see what that is all about. The
UI looks good, though. I will say
dude,
that.
the UI is really nice and solid. The music is really, it feels like it's high quality. It's so far comfortable to play, minus a few things. Like I'm thankful that I got the Elite series, so I can use my left bumper and my right bumper, you know, right here, and then I can use my right trigger, my left trigger. But it's like a part of me is like, man, I wouldn't mind if it was like left trigger would fire off, you know, would act as my bumper. But I might play around with some stuff to see what ultimately I decide I want, you know, like if I make any changes. What's up, Solemn? How you doing, bud?
What's up, Solemn?
The yeah, so yeah, Cat's like Kai, I butchered your name, I apologize. Yeah, man, like I would look into like if you're really wanting to play the game, like a VPN if it's blocked, etc., and you just go download it from Steam, because you can, VPN will make it look like you're wherever the hell you're connecting from, and you don't have to use mine, but if you look in like the description and stuff with I have a link with ExpressVPN, or you could use exit lag as well.
You would think the fact that VPNs exist would make a lot of this regional licensing redundant.
Agreed. Like, okay, well then I'm just gonna go around you. You know, it's like, like I don't have to. This is just digital. These are ones and zeros. There's no scarcity anymore. You know.
No, well, there is scarcity. It's compute, but that's going into another conversation now.
Okay, fair enough. Fair point.
You know, but
it's morning, like, okay, like I can regional licensing, and then it's like, wait a minute, you don't want more people to play your game? Like, it just, I don't know. I wish I had. If anybody knows or has a good argument for why, I will entertain it. I would just, I would love to be educated on, because I can't even mathematically think why it would make sense to be like, all right, what, like, but what money? Like,
so they're probably thinking, but they're probably thinking the amount of people who would go on and use a VPN is so small compared to the amount of people who would just. But again, you might as well just say, look, we're just going to give you a global license and then double the price. You know, or say, look, depending on how many players, you know, we'll use a consumption license model depending on the region.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Michael? How you doing, dude?
No, I'm doing good, Brian. How you doing, my guy?
Man, I'm doing good, dude. I'm a little bit tired, but that's okay. That's to be expected. It's been a busy week. I had so stressed. I was telling with Val here earlier. My PC is on its way out, and I ended up ordering a new one. But up to the ordering, it was just like trying to fix, trying to repair it, just trying to band-aid it, and I'm like just mad and frustrated. And then the glass case literally shattered. On it. I was like, that's it. All right, we're done. So I'm gonna strip this thing for parts. And the fun thing could be, you know, because it's like, well, next Saturday is when they say that it might show up, and that happens to also be my birthday. So I was like, oh man, what if I was telling Jules, I wasn't intending on buying myself a computer for my birthday, but if it shows up on my birthday, that's gonna be even better.
You know how to use
hey, like good old Bob Ross says, happy little accidents.
Happy little, make some happy little accidents, some happy little trees. Yes, typically you have to do the VPN to buy it, because it won't show up on the store. Like that's what I've done when I've been playing, when I played Throne of Liberty, when it launched in Korea. I was like, yeah, let me go check it out. And I tell you, hands down, the difference between then and now, the game feels way better already. And obviously I'm like level 3 or 4, so it's like you can never truly judge an MMO by the leveling tutorial, which is like what these kind of are. We're gonna let you do this
I hate
leveling
that
tutorial,
so
and then by
much.
the time you hit the level cap, then all of a sudden the real game begins. You know.
That just really annoys me.
And I
I'm
hope
like,
nobody
the-
minds that I'm not paying attention to the story. I'm no offense, I just don't care.
The leveling should be like 80+% of your game.
Yeah.
The fact that every
Lord
like the
Hobbes of
end game
Laslan
as a
resisted
concept
Revolupius,
is
who had
stupid.
usurped the
Yeah.
throne.
Like
But
at
his
least it is
dominion
stupid if you want to review an MMO. It's like, well, you didn't play it long enough, or
Right.
you know, you can't have a negative opinion because you played it for so long.
Brian,
Yeah.
remind me, don't you live not too far away from the Micro Center?
I don't think so. I know that we used to have a Fry's, and they closed that. So it beats the heck out of me if there's a new Micro Center. But I ended up going with the a Starforge, which is like the Asmongold company. So I was like, yeah, I'll give this a shot because I've heard good things, and we'll see if it ends up being a good thing. From the moment so the PC I have right now is an Origin, and from the moment, and this is obviously like, you know, there's all that scarcity, people couldn't get graphics cards, so I ordered it, and it took them basically, it felt like, you know, 4 or 5 months to get my computer, and then I've had
That's
like
a long time.
yeah, and then I've just had so many problems with it out the gate.
Really?
Yeah, like it's so. That's just a kind of a thing, and this will be interesting to see. This is just something I'm actually looking forward to when I do the next thing. Is that when my new PC gets in here, I'm planning on, you know, obviously I'll do some streaming on it, and I'm wondering if games that I have been playing that have given me problems while streaming perform better on the new machine. I'm assuming they will from a hardware perspective, but there are certain games, like if I do Halo, like it would just tank the stream, and it was just so incredibly frustrating. And my thought is just I've always felt, and this is from the beginning, like there's some games that have no problems, and there's some games that legitimately I'm like, I can't stream this game because it.
What was your GPU?
I have a 3080, and I've got 64 gigs of RAM, and I got
Oh wow.
yeah, like this is a beast of machine, and I'm glad, you know, like it lasted me, you know, I think I got it in 2019, so yeah, 5 years, but like, oh my gosh, yes, you know, let's go. So I have like, I cannot recommend Origin, and I had it, like I paid it for this with my money back in the day, and I got it, and I was like, it works, does the job. I actually had to send it back in, and they had to do some repairs on it, because like I don't know what the hell the problem was, and then and so then we got it back, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not enjoying it, and it is what it is, and so that's why I haven't come out, and they got bought out by Corsair. I think that probably was also a part of the, yeah, I think that was probably a part of the problem as well, that was happening while I was buying the machine. So they could be like totally legit, but I tell you, like, I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I decided pretty much right out the gate that I wasn't going to be ordering from them ever again. I was just like, all right, I bought it, we've got it. Listen, I'm gonna make the most out of it. And the thing I like about it is it does have a lot of like hard drive space. So as a content creator, that allows me to capture a lot of footage and do things with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also then make sure I back it all up on the cloud for the stuff that I want to keep, because it's like, yeah, I don't want to have to store all that.
Yeah. The same issue happened with Alienware with Bell.
Yeah.
They don't remove the brand just so they can keep the value of the name, but what happens is effectively everything gets standardized down to, you know, select standard configs, and they usually, so let's say you got an Alienware and they use specific parts. Well, they're going to make the next Alienware as close to their internal machine, you know, their configuration, so they can just use the same parts they were already using. So it just becomes cheap gunk over time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's small things, but it matters. You know, it's like the fans, you
Yeah, I
know,
already-
power supply.
Yeah, I ordered the PC, Paul, on yesterday. Like, and this one, like, I got a beefy machine because I'm excited about it, because I do a lot of development, and it's like, it really is good. I want a reliable machine that's fast, that I don't have to spend a lot of time waiting for things to compile. But yeah, I went ahead and ordered it. They say that it might show up next Saturday, so a week from now.
What spec did you go for?
I went with the highest level spec.
So 4090.
What's up?
The 4090.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the 4090. It's got 64.
Must
It
be,
is an i9. I know Intel's been struggling, but it was that when the package in and of itself was all like the like 142, 40K, whatever the numbers are.
Must be cost you a ton for a 4090.
Oh yeah, it was expensive.
To be fair, GPU prices are just ridiculous at this point.
Well, you know, thankfully, like I knew that replacing the PC this year was a real possibility, so we've been just saving up for it for the last few months. So it was like, oh, okay, well, here's the money that we have budgeted, and I estimated I was gonna it's a $5,000 machine. I was like, yeah, my PC's about $5,000. That's what we're gonna spend on it, and that's what we did. And so I was like,
amount of money.
It is ridiculous amount of money, and thankfully, the work I do helps cover all that.
Oh yeah, but it's like you're almost spending as much on a car for a PC.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
What's up, Gabe?
They do.
Maddie, will you help Gabe get set up on Roblox?
Aren't developers seeing what was that, like a 99% failure rate for developing on a lot of the Intel chips?
I don't know. We'll have to see, because it's like I'm assuming that hopefully will have been resolved by the chip.
Well, apparently it wasn't. I don't think it's a hardware issue. I think it's apparently it was being flagged as a NVIDIA driver issue, but it wasn't actually the driver software that was the issue.
Okay.
So it seems to be how the driver software is interacting with the chip's architecture, I believe is what it was said.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see what happens.
7950X. To be fair, that's also another weird thing. I've seen a lot of actual AMD chipsets now just having better performance with NVIDIA cards.
AMD has been really jumping it up.
It's just weird that NVIDIA, but also it's really weird that AMD's really good on the processor side, but really bad on the GPU side. But then again, you're facing NVIDIA now, so the wealthiest company on the planet, at this point.
Brian, you still playing a lot of 14?
Yeah, so I've gotten my Astrologian to level 97, but I'm not playing like the story. So I've just kind of been leveling the jobs, getting them to 100. So I got Viper, did the controller guide for that, posted that one, and then I'm like working on an Astro next, and then basically I'm just like what I've kind of shared. I'm not committing to doing all of them. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm just casually leveling, and once I hit my weight loss goal, and I'm under 210 pounds, then I'll continue the story. But until I'm at my goal, I'm gonna just keep on relaxing, focusing on going to the gym, leveling up a little bit. Basically, what I do is, and it's not every day. I'll pop on and like do a roulette or 2 or 3, like the front line, the PvP, the leveling. And it's like, yeah, that was fun. That roughly is maybe like 45 minutes to an hour, depends on how the runs go. And then I just put it down, and so I just kind of let that XP kind of flow into the character, and trying to keep it at a nice smooth pace, because there's also a lot of games that I'm playing and enjoying,
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, I'm playing Elden Ring, I'm playing these other games, and I'm not. How about you? Are you playing a lot of Final Fantasy right now?
Oh yeah. I just about got all my crafters and gatherers to 100.
Dude, way to go, man.
That grind
awesome.
fest is going.
Well, if you're having fun, man, that's awesome.
It's enjoyable.
Wonder what FF14 would be like as a handheld experience.
Sounds good, Paul. What's up?
I wonder what FF would be like as a handheld experience.
Well, if they would support GeForce Now, I could answer.
Yeah.
That. they
Yeah,
do
that's what I'm
support.
saying.
They do support the PlayStation, like remote play.
I think the best thing to say about it is how robust is your internet connection going to be.
Yeah. Well, on most of my stuff, my internet connection handles everything just fine. I'm not
For GeForce, I think it's for 750 you need 15 megabytes, 25 for 1080p, 35 for 1440, and for 4K you need 45 megs. And that's at 5 gigahertz.
Yeah.
So it's not demanding, you know. If you've got gigabyte connection, you should, which I think 70% of Americans have. Like the infrastructure is not.
I don't know.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I
mean, I could get a gigabit, but I don't need
Let's
one.
check.
We're on.
Wow.
I'm on 300 by 300, 300 down, 300 up, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah,
Oh, it's more than fine. Like it's more than yeah, it's great. I was on a gig down and 50 up, and that was on cable, and I was just like, can we get some fiber? We didn't have they didn't have fiber in my area until this year, and I was like, made that switch. Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's 70% of the U.S.
No,
I think it's growing, and hopefully we see them continue to make investments into it.
Don't know why I thought it said 70, but oh, okay, that's why I've got to mix that with another thing. It's 25%.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming along.
Yeah. To be fair, most people in my country don't even have it.
Yeah.
Like, this was the first year I think I even saw deals for 500 megs. And I'm in the UK, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, though, we've just completed the countries, you know, that everybody's basically on fiber at this point.
And I tell you, like, whenever I play like a new MMO and I step into it, like I would say, like the visuals on this game are really nice. Like I love the landscapes. It feels, you know,
yeah,
the skybox is really nice. And I go, man, I would love to see if they decided to remake Final Fantasy 11. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, this is probably the first year, Paul, I've seen like deals for 500 to 900 megabytes for like BT.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that the Alliance, this expansion is going to be a crossover with 11, right?
Yes, I did.
1 gigabyte plus is mainly for businesses.
I joked that I was like, Yoshi P basically was like, how do we get Brian back into Final Fantasy 14? And he's just been hitting that checkbox, bringing it to Xbox, Final Fantasy 11 raid. You know, I was just like, let's go. There's only a handful of things that I'm like, oh man, I really wish you would add this, but we'll have to see.
For Paul's question, you're right. You can get 1 gigabyte plus. That's mainly been for businesses. So, actual, you know, non-commercial enterprises.
Sorry, what were you saying,
Ron? Oh, just another checkbox. A class that feels great to play on a controller.
Dude, actually both Viper and Pictomancer feel great. Now, I think Pictomancer missed it a little bit because you have the motif, then you have the stamp, and then you can use the hammer skill. Like, it should. I was like, come, like that just seems a little bit silly, you know.
Why don't you try it?
What is the motif? Is that like a stance?
It's like it's like where you basically queue up the ability. So it's like you make the painting, and then you have the spell with the painting that makes it have its effect. So, you know, you think, and for most of it, you use 2 buttons, right? So you do the motif, then you do what's called the muse, and then so then you muse it. But with the hammer, you do the motif, then you do the hammer stamp, and then you can use the hammer a spell, magic ability, whatever it ends up being.
Just as I thought.
So it's like 3 buttons when in reality, I think they could have just had 2 buttons where you do the motif and then you use it, you know. Like they could have condensed all of that down to just 1 button. But Viper feels great to play on a controller. And honestly, I think it's a sign of what's to come, Michael. I think what we're going to see is that I really hope that 2 things need to happen. They need to rethink their level sync system, because at this point, you know, one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to rethink the level sync system, or they're going to do a level squish, or maybe they'll do kind of a combo of both. And like I hope.
I mean levels. Yeah.
Yeah, level squish is like what WoW did. They have been following the WoW playbook like almost to a T, like where you line up which expansion added what, and then it's like, oh, WoW added this in this expansion, and that lines up, you know, nicely with Final Fantasy.
You could feel your magic.
But it's gonna be interesting to see, because like the one problem I have with Viper is anytime I played the job in content less than level 80, I did not like the job. It really felt incomplete. It really felt dull. And then like at level 80 plus, I was like, this is a lot of fun. This is a really cool job. You know, and so what I hope is my personal hope is that level sync the stats, level sync even potencies. I don't care, but keep the skills so that when you go into lower level content, you're not sitting here like, yeah, like I remember I didn't like Paladin until I hit level 50 back in ARR. At level 49, I was like, this job, I do not like it. And then at level 50, I was like, I like Paladin because now it feels complete. And the problem with Final Fantasy that it does is it really designs its jobs for 100 level, like the level cap, but then it puts you into the majority of content below that level cap. And so I think if they can address that, that would make me very, very happy.
Are you talking about like the roulettes put you in stuff below level?
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
If you open the map,
Yeah, so like when you go run like roulettes, like your Alliance and more, like you're running not level cap content. And so especially when the expansion launches, this has been a common critique of expansion launches for players whose it's their first expansion, is that when they typically get brought in, it's on pre-expansion hype. So then they have, and they're playing through, like Shadowbringers is a great example, playing through Shadowbringers, and when they came into Shadowbringers, it had all the content. Like it was like, yeah, we got this, we got this, we got this, we got this. So it feels like, you know, not only that in the story, but you're just like, man, what a full game, so much to do, etc. And then you see them when they came into Endwalker and saying like, but wait, where's the Alliance raid? Where's the you know, where's this? Where's that? And it's like, it's coming. We know it's coming. We can tell you exactly when it's going to get here, but it's not here day one. And so you end up either spending a lot of time in lower level content, or you know, you take a break or something like that. $100, 100 PM here for 7K up and down.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Daggum, what do you do with that kind of speed? What's up, Darsh? How you doing, dude?
Yeah, we did not have that in my region.
Like, that sounds like that would be something I would put in a business, so that way, like, you got like a lot of people.
Yeah, that is because what happened is most places in the UK only had 1 gigabyte plus if you were actual retail, not if you were actually commercial. This is been actually rather rare. It's been almost like full broadband. Let's see.
Go ahead, Michael. What's up?
Have you heard about some people trying to do the last expansion Alliance raids for XP up to like 97?
Dude, yeah, it's beautiful. Like the XP that flows from the roulette is just, it's amazing. I love it. That's how I've since I haven't stepped foot into the new world. And I haven't done the story because I'm way behind. I'm like, I got so like, I'm just leveling up through the roulettes, and it's incredible. Like I would say if I was truly like grinding it out, I could have several more hundreds by now already, and then I could easily probably get Omni 100 by the time 7.1 dropped. But I don't have that intention to play and get myself fatigued anymore with Final Fantasy. I'd rather just play and enjoy it.
Yeah, so I just checked my broadband deals. It's 900 megabytes is the highest for basic, what is £45 a month.
Shoot, just don't over level too many and then have not enough for fates.
Thankfully, I've done a lot of fates when I was doing Viper leveling because and obviously Picto for the longer queues. But when I've been playing Astro, like it's too fast. Like everybody
You have
needs
a
a healer.
star fragment just like that girl.
The thing is that most businesses don't eat unless you're like probably the medium portion of the SME business range. You don't need 10 gigabytes. If you've got like 15 employees, you don't need 10 gigabytes, especially if it's just for office.
You won't be able to escape Lord Khazar until they take
£24 in the UK? Really?
I can't forget with time, my man.
Not too sure about that. Need to check. Unless it's from a reseller.
So my internet at 300 is at $65 a month, which is great. Somebody, it was interesting because like I was on Twitter, which is always fun. But there was a conversation that I don't see people who tweet at me unless they are following me. I don't know how I turn that setting on, but that's how it is on Twitter, and I'm not going to turn it off. I'm just like, if you're not following me, I'm not going to even bother with what you say. But whenever somebody replies to somebody that that does follow me, I will see that reply. Someone was like, all right. So I saw this interesting message on a subject where like Kick set out that they were like, hey, if you were paid $5,000 a month to stream 7 hours a day on Kick, would you do it? And I go, no. It's like, no, I will not. Like, I'm not gonna go do that. Like, that just seems like super stressful. And somebody replied, was like, dude, like, like you mean you couldn't, like that would be if they did it for a whole year, like 60K. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. But he's like, you couldn't, you mean you couldn't live off that? And I was like, I just replied to him, I was like, dude, with 6 kids, my insurance cost me like $1,100. My mortgage is $18. The food budget, and yeah, we could scale things down, is at $1,300. Because and my wife does like incredible stuff with finding deals, and I was like, that alone, and then we're not even talking utilities, we're not talking taxes, we're not talking when things just fail. I was like, no, as a father of 6, I'll tell you, $5,000 is not enough. Now you could live in certain parts of the world where that became enough, but not here in North Texas.
How much is like? Surely Texas must pay you, because Texas is what in demand right now for jobs and things like that. Surely
the jobs are great. The jobs are great here, man. Found a key with a golden flower. The chest is the same augmentation. Maybe okay. It wants me to close out. I thought I had to keep investigating it.
No, I just checked compare the market. The highest I've seen for around £26. And it's ranging from 67 megabytes to 500.
Right.
I'm not seeing 900. The minute you get into the 900 region, it jumps up to the 40 to 100 region plus.
And back to that, like one of the things Julie and I did early on in our marriage, and thankfully this has benefited us, is that we did Dave Ramsey's plan. We got out of debt, so I have a car that's paid off, but it's a 20-year-old truck. We have a van that's paid off, and it's like, yeah, like I can't make that math work. And I was like, if you can and if you do it, like more power to you.
Captured Martinet, the younger of 2 twin sisters.
The whole fire lifestyle really is mind-boggling to me.
Well, this isn't a fire lifestyle like and for those who don't know, fires like to retire early.
Retire by age 50 or something.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, man. I like work, and I like, it's like I really do feel, I get a lot of, value out of work. I could easily become a workaholic and be addicted, but thankfully, that's not the case here.
I'm gonna be honest. I had no idea broadband prices were even affected by Black Friday.
Let's see here. Is it double jump? Yeah, there we go. Oh, good. I can let go off the A button. Nice. Speed up. Descend. Left and right.
Search for G. I'm changing broadband on the wrong days.
Yeah, Yeah, dude, I'm just not. I don't know. Like when it comes to the story, I'm just not naturally interested. I don't generally play MMOs for story, and Final Fantasy 14 was always the exception of that. You know, even Final Fantasy 11, I was like, I kind of more or less consumed the story from like YouTube videos now. Like, I don't really, you know, like I know who this character was and this was going on, but
if
more
they
or
could make
less
the story,
it was always leveling and hanging out and talking to your friends.
if they could make the story like the way Elden Ring does its story, or something like that, you know, the way the original Destiny did its story, where it's in the item descriptions and you don't really know anything about it, I'm much more interested in that. Because at least the community can, you know, come together and try to piece it together.
Yeah.
And you don't have a bunch of crap exposition on, you know, crap that you just don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
But now everything's like Destiny 2, the story's all very well known. And I'm just going to be honest, I don't really care about it at this point. Like, I much preferred it when it was vague.
I'm interested to finish out the final shape. But that's gonna, like, again, it's like, honestly, I'm having so much fun with No Rest for the Wicked. Light No Fire information might be trickling out really soon. You know, and I was like, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's
I like PAX Day actually a lot. PAX Day feels like a cozy little relaxing time. I just haven't had time to play, you know, too many games, and I was like, yeah.
My only issue with PAX Day is I think it might be a bit too restricting on what a single person can do with the building aspect.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't mind survival, you know, stylized things. I think I can get quite into it. It's just I'm a bit worried on that aspect about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the things you're usually worried about are usually some of the best parts.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just trying to see how World of Warcraft turns out with its new expansion.
That's going to be something really interesting to see, like, because this will be the first expansion launch under the Microsoft umbrella. What does the marketing look like? What, you know, like...
There's no hype. I haven't seen really any hype for this expansion.
And the lack of hype, though, doesn't necessarily mean too much, because we've seen time and time again where people are like, where's the hype? And then, like, you know, as it draws closer, you actually start seeing it build up, because you can only maintain so much hype before you just hit a level of fatigue that's just like, okay, like, this is unsustainable.
Even
because it's the same as, like, you can only do so much cocaine before.
Yeah,
like, your
even
heart's
for
gonna give
Dragonflight,
out.
there was a lot of hype.
Yeah.
But I've not really seen it for the War Within.
It's also
it's
a
odd.
20-plus-year-old MMO, like.
Yeah, but it's a 20-plus-year MMO with a 7.5 million player base. You know, it's I think a lot more. I think it's a wait and see, because Dragonflight was sort of the baseline, but there's a lot more discussion, I feel like, with, you know, how's balancing going on in the game right now, because it's a bit of a mess. Because they brought in support characters with augmentation evokers, so they tried to add in support, and they also have and they've been testing it for a while, but it just seems to be a bit all over the mess. And there was a lot of critique with the hero talents, because a lot of people thought there would be, like, you know, advanced specializations. And a lot of it is just more passives and maybe a button or two, but nothing really insane. But at the same time, people have been critiquing the fact about all the balancing and talent trees for the past, you know, ever.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I like how fast that fast travel is right there. That was cool. So it said, yeah, use the return. Then when we go back in here, I guess maybe I missed a step.
And sometimes I feel like people forget that MMORPGs are meant to be MMOs.
I think from a business perspective, you don't have, like, with social media, like, it literally has taken away part of the player base that was coming to the MMOs for that kind of social communicative nature. And so what people remember is, you know, obviously playing with others and more. But now Path of Least Resistance is like, it is just easier to log in on Twitter, you know, than it is to, you know, they'll log into an MMO. And if you make it harder, you know, MMOs are harder to get into now than, you know, things like social media and YouTube and more that it's like, yeah, like why does somebody not log in and or why are MMO communities struggling? It's like, yeah, the cost has gone up, the quality doesn't necessarily match it, and gamers don't show up to reward unique systems with their support.
I think if we're going more solo in a sense, I think they need to be more experimental with the RPG component to bring people in.
Yeah, I think so too. They've gotten so like formulaic, and that's another thing. People are just like, all right, you know, that's where when you can build out a character and it can be different, and yes, there's always going to be a meta, but they can always keep changing that. But as the player, like, it's like, yeah, give us choice, as opposed to like, okay, we're gonna cut out player trade, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. You know, it's like, okay, then it's like, all right.
You know, I'm going to be pretty brutal here. Like, SWTOR, the branching narrative was always its strongest point, and then they streamlined it, and the game started dying at that point.
Yeah. What's up, Yo Ding?
You know,
instant gratification. That's why, like, I've even said, like, I don't like how cash shops feed that instant gratification, right? It's like,
it's because you need a mix of both. Like, older school MMOs have a lot of delayed, whereas newers have a lot of instant, but you need both. You know, you need things that feel like they're respecting your time, but also grinds that you want to sort of save towards. Not gold dumps. Like, a lot of the time you see where it's like, well, if you save up 20 million gold, which is a stupid number of gold, you can get this black spider. It's like, I don't care about the mount. You know, there needs to be, and it's the same with like titles. Who actually cares about a title? Titles don't give you anything.
Everybody's always welcome to give feedback, as long as it's not like hateful. Like, your face is ugly, that's my feedback. It's like, it's not feedback, bro. I can't change that.
What's FPR feedback?
I think he meant 4, not FPR.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that FPR feedback, man. I really need to improve that FPR game.
Is that some YouTube KPI that I don't know about?
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I just wish they'd be more experimental on the RPG aspects of MMOs. I think, like, if I took WoW for example, a few of the coolest things I've seen were, like, you know, probably like a Black Ranger quest line, getting the N'Zoth quest line. You know, you can side with N'Zoth, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And also, you know, there's people. It's just like crazy stuff like that. You know.
Like, to add, like, you know, as we wait for the feedback from Hilly, it's like, I know Hilly, like, awesome guy. Every time I felt like we've always had really good conversations. So it's like, yeah, feedback from somebody who it's like you kind of have already an established relationship with, I think is feedback that I'll listen to, you know, at a deeper level than if somebody was like, YouTube recommended me your feed, and here are my thoughts. And it's like, all right, man. It's like, thanks for the feed. That's why I like when I don't have anything nice or you know, like, I guess smart, sometimes I like to get a little cheeky to say. I'll always just say thanks for the feedback, you know, like I'll think on it. So Chuckle says, I really enjoy Throne, but it's really easy with work and family, and you seem like a busy guy. Yeah, dude. So for me, with this game, like, if I believe it's coming to GeForce Now. I don't have any inside information on that, despite being an ambassador for GeForce Now. But if this game does also then launch, just like New World and Lost Ark, and Amazon seems to be heavily supporting GeForce Now, I think that's going to make it so much easier for me as a gamer to be able to pop in and play. Like, I'm telling you, like, this game feels like I'm enjoying myself. It's nice. It's comfortable. You know, like, obviously it's pretty straightforward. I'm not really invested in the story, but I'm not really playing it for the story. And I'm like, yeah, I can kick back, relax. And so if they make it easy for me to hop in and play, then we're going to be freaking ready to rock and roll.
I agree with Paul's recent take. You know, it's like getting for the gameplay, stick around for the lore. You know, I don't play WoW.
And Hilly, on that, like, I do not have yet an integration. For some reason, like, I can stream to Twitter, but I can't see any chat. So I've just said don't chat on Twitter, because if somebody's like saying something, I don't want to miss that. And then Discord link is the top link in the description, Hilly. I don't think I've set up all my chat bots. I do apologize. I know I stream in a couple of different spots depending on what I'm playing, and I just find that segment of different, to be enjoyable, as opposed to like, oh yeah, you don't like MMOs? No worries. Like, I know that not everybody likes them. Here we go. Here's the MMO channel. All right. Anyway, he says, I found this video. Twitter couldn't tell. Chat on Twitter, not your fault. Had a sub to your channel on YouTube. Didn't show you live, not your fault. And then click on your link tree and and your malware bites. Wow, dude, dude, you getting here despite all of those things, I really, really appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, dude, that's I debated on also just tweeting out the link to this, but I don't know how those tweets are visible and seen. But yeah, generally I keep chat to subscriber, and that's not for anybody who's listening, not really truly paying attention. The subscriber on the YouTube side is just the follow, and I really wish that we could get some kind of commonality in terms, because it's like, oh, you got to subscribe to Brian in order to do whatever. It's like, yeah, that's the free option.
Unfortunate accidents often happen off the coast of Castleton, when
I think I'm
fishing boats are
sick.
sunk by the perilous
Hey, Brian.
reefs.
Hey,
Chunks of
Varen,
the
what's
bait
up, dude?
that
Oh, we
anglers
lost
use
Michael. Okay.
are
Well,
sometimes
Michael,
found
hopefully,
in
if you're still
chests
listening,
that
man,
wash
thanks for
ashore
coming
from
in
the
and
wreckage.
stopping by and saying hi. It was good talking to you,
Their
dude.
pungent smell
The
is
I just had a sick moment.
attacking me with genuine feedback. No, thanks, Hilly. That's good to know. What's crazy though, and I know from a technical perspective, this is totally possible, because for our podcast we use StreamYard, and StreamYard integrates with Twitter and YouTube and etc. Now I can see chat on Streamlab. I cannot see support on Twitch. So yesterday, Bring Back Fluffy Dogs dropped his, he gave me his Prime sub, and that's incredible. And for some reason on StreamYard, that doesn't show up, but I'm able to see it through this. So hopefully we'll see, and what I'm using to stream, I guess maybe I could look at, I don't want to pay for it though. So Restream.io allows you to kind of do the restreaming and having, some levels of integration. Does it turn me into an honor? Very nice. I'm trying to draw a blank on what I was thinking about saying. That costs monthly. I use Prism Live Studio to do the stream, which basically lets me for free push out to YouTube, Facebook. I also throw it out to Kick and X, but I don't have any Kick chat integration either. So anybody who's over there, thanks for being there.
Everything's a subscription at this point.
Well,
to
answer your question, Brian, I'm currently on 14 doing my dailies.
Nice.
And just kind of chilling. I get the next 24 hours till I got to work tomorrow afternoon. So, yeah.
What's up, Gabe? No, you gotta go beat the game yourself, bud.
Which channel should people have memberships on, Brian?
Oh, okay. So how I'm kind of structuring kind of members is that on Prime, like I create some exclusive content, but I would say wherever you do, it all is good. So if you want to be a member here, I'll keep more of the these VODs public. Over on Prime, I'm not trying to build a live audience. So I make all of those VODs members only. So there's just like kind of a value perk there. And then and I'll kind of evaluate it. But I only offer one tier here on the MMO channel. Cause it's like, if y'all want to support, you want to do more. Cause people are like, oh, you should have multiple tiers. It's like, just go support some other content creators out there. For me, thankfully, I'm not, this is not how I pay for the kids, food and health insurance, So
thank God you do not have the memberships of some other YouTubers that I've seen in the space. It's like, who's one like Reforge is like £5+ all the way up to like £50 for a podcast, and you're like, what?
Yeah, he's got a lot of options, which is like, honestly, like, for the content and the what he's put in the work into it, it's like, yeah, man. But I'm like, yeah, like I have a generally limit. I think I support on the $6 tier, which is kind of the member up, from like the gifted or whatever, because gifted her. What am I supposed to do? Go down through the broken... I'll just fall down. Okay. I was like... Kept throwing... Oh, I guess if I wanted to, like, jump up. Boss with a skull.
The game looks good. Like, it's quite graphical. Quite impressive on that thing. Is it you at Unreal... What? 5?
Is it Unreal Engine 5 or is it 4?
I think it might... Did it ask you to preload the shaders before you...
Yeah.
So it's probably 4, it feels like.
Let's see here. Where was I?
Unreal 4 has a nasty habit of... You have to preload the shaders every time.
I don't feel like it's done that every time. I think it was just the first time.
Because it's, you know, you have to do it with things like Hogwarts Legacy, and you're just like, oh my god. You want to play a game and it takes an extra 5 minutes.
Investigate the small dog.
Oh no, you gotta wait 5 minutes for a game to preload the shader, so it's a much smoother experience.
So I'd rather it just, you know, natively have the shaders on it.
You mean natively load the shaders in as it goes, where you got stuttering and everything, yeah?
Optimize it. I do not care. Like, the least issues I have, the better. If it's like...
And the least issues are when it preloads those shaders like that.
Yeah, then I'll go play another game.
Are often found in the wrecks near windows.
Like, that's
It
the
takes
thing.
like 5-10 minutes out of your day to wait for the game to preload the shaders.
That's 5-10 minutes I could spend on another game.
And Prime also is like, you know, like I'm more focusing that like on action RPGs, like No Rest of the Wicked, the upcoming Light No Fire, and you know, just general gaming news, and the podcast, you know, lives there now. And then I like today, or kind of like the thing I'm kind of playing around with. I feel like it's doing well because I have Ginger Prime TV, which is like the clips channel. So you know, the live streams and all that, we just get that all processed and clipped out and loaded over there. But like I'll take if I find that there's like a really interesting discussion that's had, I'll take that and either put that up here. So like a couple weeks ago we were talking about like you know, like New World and stuff like that, or Final Fantasy, and so I put that up here as a clip of the podcast. And then same thing with this week, was we were talking about with Light No Fire, No Man's Sky, so I took that and put that as a clip on Prime. So yeah, the podcast is streamed on Prime. MMO RPGs are streamed here, so if you like MMOs and you want to hang out, like that would be a good spot. But you being here, regardless of being a member or not, like, thank you. Like, honestly, it is a humbling thought that you guys show up to watch this balding ginger father of 6 play a video game until inevitably he will be interrupted.
And thank you even more if you're leaving a like on it.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Always
Those
a
likes,
good thing.
that like support, man, I tell you. It's fun because it's like, it is so interesting because I shared out the, you know, that Final Fantasy 14 player messaging me saying like he wishes I would get murdered, and I was like, it just makes me laugh to no end. But it's like, why is it always the Final Fantasy 14 community that just like nobody was like, I don't know why, and I was like, and it's so funny because people think, oh, this guy just doesn't like Final Fantasy 14. I was like, I have absolutely no idea how you come to that conclusion, but it's still like, oh, this guy doesn't adhere to the group think. Yeah, that absolutely is true. Anyway,
it's insane.
It happens like that sometimes.
Yeah, man. I'm like, all right, buddy. Like, I mean, they've already people have tried to kill me before. Maybe they'll try again. We'll see. I got the scars. They put all that glass on that field and pushed me into it and cut me up nasty. Almost killed me. Like, all right, thanks, guys.
Some savages,
dude. That's the thing. Like, if you read the thing everybody needs to know about humanity is that we as humans are broken, you know, and we're all broken in different ways. But, you know, there's still like, yeah, it is gonna be what it is.
No such thing as being perfect at the end of the day.
You'll send a
So
pic
would
in
that be
Discord,
called the
sweet.
Wheatfield
Yeah,
Savage?
you should be able to do that just by being on the Discord. Like we've experimented with roles, and I need to probably go back and look at that. But generally, like if you're on the Discord, yeah.
What kind of pick we talking here, Hilly?
I'm assuming a decent one.
Maybe a nice cup of tea at least.
Helly, also, you're welcome
Liberty?
to jump into the voice chat here as well, even if you don't feel like talking too. Like, it's like the voice chat's open for anybody on the Discord.
Yep, I'm here in the voice chat. You're more
Malware
than
bites.
welcome
Okay,
to join.
so
Helly.
website blocked due to phishing. Global. What link was that? That's not the. That's not the.
When you return with the ingredients, the Lord's aid
what's
was
it called?
greatly relieved that
The
he could proceed with the contest at.
pull it up. The link tree. Like, was that a link on my link tree?
Dude, wait for the
This is
healer.
what the link tree. That's what it should have taken you to. And yeah, man, what did you click on? Because like all of it's just my links to my different channels.
We got a fake Brian account out here somewhere.
Well, or maybe like I messed up and somebody changed the link on my Twitter or something. Like that's where he said like he went to it and that's where he got the malware pop up and I'm like, whoa. Nothing comes up.
Nothing comes. Let me double check.
Yeah, can y'all click that link tree and make sure that it comes up?
Tree. I see Ginger Prime, content creator, Catholic, and father of 6. Link to your YouTube. Link to Crystal Core Radio, Epic Blue Radio. Ginger Prime loves MMO RPGs. Blue Protocol Central comedy. Basically all your links all the way down.
Okay.
And then join Ginger Prime.
I wonder what's going on with Helly then. Like I've never heard of. Man, I don't know why.
Maybe it's something to do with UK browsers. I don't know.
No, I've not had any issue with it.
Maybe it's rerouting him through something else first.
So you sent over the full image. Let's troubleshoot this.
Because I clicked your link in the Discord to get to that. So
I'm looking at his
the one
image.
you had just put in there.
That are you sure that's with this site, or is it only just coming up with the site? Like, or is that your computer saying that there's something that's going on there? Let me.
Yeah, that image you got there is what comes up when I click your link. I don't get that pop up at the bottom or anything like that.
Open up. Yeah, the it's accepted cookies. The link that he's got in there is linktree/GINGER Prime. So that's the right link. Is that malware bytes pop up on any other?
Doesn't pop up for me.
Well, right, but I'm saying like, is it something that actually like, where your computer's like, yo, there's some malware like, and you need to be aware of it.
Nope, I get no form of pop-up for that. It could be his malware program or firewall.
Well, that's what I mean. Is that like
maybe
is
mine's
something
blocking it and doesn't notify or something?
Right, like it's like just get rid of it. Because then that would be a question
like it
of
notified me that.
Linktree, and I don't want to be sitting here getting people to get malware on their machine by using Linktree. So if anybody has heard of any, I haven't heard of any negatives about Linktree. So.
Maybe the other guys will be able to see because I don't get any kind of
Would
notification.
you drop that link
into
into the stream chat, Solemn, just so that if somebody wants to go and yeah, he's got malware bytes notices on, so that he's got his machine actively looking for that stuff. So if anybody has like a a malware detector, go out to the link tree and see if it's also firing that off. And I don't know, like I think that would have to, I would assume, be an issue that was fixed by Linktree themselves because it's their site. Like I'm not injecting HTML code into it, I cannot wait for my new PC. This beep, I'm so glad y'all can't hear the beeping. It is mind-numbingly annoying.
I can hear it, but I think
you
I've
can?
tuned that out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is that because the computer's heating up too much?
I don't know what caused it, but like it doesn't have a case anymore because that literally shattered while I was trying to, like, over the course of this year, it's been like, yeah, I don't think I want to boot now. And it's like, okay. And so, like, I was troubleshooting it, and I was like, okay, as a part of troubleshooting, I will, like, unhook everything, and, you kind of just try to remove every variable. So I was just remove the variables, testing what I could test, and then when I was, like, kind of putting it back together I was being so intentionally gentle I was like, I just set it down, just rested it when I closed the case, and the whole thing just shattered, and then now it's beeping at me, and I wonder if it was beeping at me before this.
And you just couldn't hear it?
Yeah.
Into the realm of savage beasts.
But the machine's also been loud. Like again, I'm really curious to see how my new PC operates because, you know, this one I felt was like really loud right out the gate. I was really surprised by that. And
what was your fan settings?
I don't know.
Because normally if you have it on like ultra performance,
dude, thanks for making me wear Hilly.
It's just going to blast your machine.
At this rate, I might.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Holy crap! How the hell are you? Sorry, I'm doing my roulette, like I said, and this Astro, I've never seen a worse Astro. Like, the tank has almost died 8 times now.
Oh wow!
And they've barely thrown a heal on there just as it's happened. So it's like, how the hell?
Peak efficiency, mate.
Peak tank anxiety. Speaking as a tank, I would hate to have that as a healer because I'm always like, am I going to get healed? Are you going to heal me? Am I going to die? I'm going to die. Oh, you just barely healed me. Oh, great, fantastic.
I'm a sheep.
Although I do find it funny that low level Viper, you're way more efficient just doing single target damage than you are doing AoE damage. I find that so hilarious.
Dude, yeah, I don't want to take you away from Lono, Hilly. I appreciate you, and as a fellow brother Catholic, I appreciate that so much. But yeah, I like when I have the time to hang out on Lono stream. It's always a good time. We're not always gonna agree, but that's actually part of the fun, and that's where, like, you know, I think the fun in video games can be found. Like,
we'll take you away from Lono every now and then.
well, I think stream generally during, like, you know, any of the time slots that he's usually active anyway. And that's the thing, people like, you know, I'm not trying to build a live audience, you know, because it's like I go live occasionally, and I could go live for 30 minutes, or I could go live for 3 hours. It really all just depends on how much fun, how I'm enjoying the game, and and also, like, will the kids let me? You know, it's like, because at the end of the day, like, the kids are my priority. You know, it's like, if they need me, then it's like, yeah, this is a video game. That's like back to the whole situational disability conversation that was popular a couple weeks ago. It's like, you just set your controller down and die. Like, what's the problem?
There is no problem. It's just people not wanting to waste their time, and it's just like,
you know, I think one of my favorite things I ever heard from Pirate Software was, when you're doing any kind of streaming, set up a schedule.
Well,
be like that Saturday show or something. Like, you've got your Friday, your lunch and loots, which are typically every day.
No. So so like what I do right now is on Mondays and Wednesdays at my lunch, where the lunch and loot might be, I go to the gym. So I go work out for my lunch break. And then on Tuesdays, we film the comedy podcast, Stand Up Press Start, and that's not an online show. That's like, because I want to be able to focus in on being as goofy and silly as possible, or as offensive as possible when it relates to games. Either way, like, you know, there's no such thing as canceling a comedian. You're only promoting them. It's like, all right, no, I'm sorry you didn't like the joke. You know, like, maybe you'll like the next one. It's up to you, man. And so what I've been doing with Lunch and Loot, that's kind of fallen on Thursdays. So I'm thinking that's going to be something that's more consistent. But yes, I agree with setting a schedule. It just, I can't mathematically, like, I can get 90% of that, right? Like, I can say, yep, Thursdays, but, you know, Julie needs me. You know, the kids need me. Like, they're my world. They're my priority, and they're always going to get that. So, like, mathematically, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not I'm not trying to build a live audience because I know that, like, I'm not going to put the live audience first, and I don't think the live audience would want me to put them first because they would be like, what's this guy doing, you know? And I think that changes as soon as I retire. And again, I'm not a part of the FIRE movement. I'm not trying to retire by the time I'm 50, but I have been saving for retirement since
94.
I was since 20. I will, like, by the time I'm 65, I'm sure I'm just going to, like, yeah, I'm going to play video games for 4 hours a day, and then I'm going to go do whatever the heck else I need. That's my retirement, you know? And then that's where it's like, okay, that's where I could see myself having to schedule. Because also at that point, the kids are grown, you know, and out of the house. And I like getting up early anyway. And, you know, so it's like, I'll go work out, come back, take a shower, play some games for a little bit. And then in the afternoon, take a nap. Retirement.
I'm just praying for AI to take over as fast as possible so I can retire.
Get you also, yeah, like a UBI. So it's like,
yeah. I am
everybody's
brilliant.
as a gamer, as a content creator now. Yeah, Ginger Prime comedy. The and so I take the clips and things like that. And it's only on. I'm only putting it on YouTube. So I'm not like
the antlers of the deer who
it costs money to host the MP3, and I was like, screw that. Like if people want it, it's here. That's where it's gonna live. But yeah, so that's so we released episode 5. We released episode 5 this week, and Dante's coming on as my so he's one of my friend comedians who recently moved to Cleveland, and I've just gotten back into doing stand-up over the last 2 weeks, but I had to basically take 2 months off from just work stuff, and so like I've been real busy. We've had a lot of stuff with a lot of family events. As summer, like the thing is like, as summer kicks up and we're gonna go see my parents and we're gonna go see Julie's parents and we're gonna go do this, that, and the other thing, it's like, oh yeah, it checks out that I'm not available. It's like, so I was like, cool. So I really enjoyed going, and then I was gonna go this last Tuesday, so I went, and then I was actually on the list, but then I had to message him because Molly ended up getting she had like croup, a bad case of that, and so Julie and I just manhandled that one, and croup is just an awful thing.
What the hell's croup?
So it's this, like, you sound like a barking seal when you cough, and it's only really truly dangerous is if you can't get the kids to calm down. So for older kids who generally will like watch a show, you can just put a show on and they'll watch it and they'll calm down and they'll be able to breathe, you know. But you get this like kind of panic, you know, with kids, and especially when like Molly, who's just, you know, like 17 months old, you know, 16 months old, you know, she's not really interested in that screen, and so she's like, you know, if she starts to hyperventilate, then it's like, yeah, she's gonna struggle. And so it's just like, yeah, so we, you know, got her, you know, took her to the doctor, got her some medication, and then we're just make sure we monitor it, you know, at night. And yeah, and so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to comedy tonight, because it's like I didn't want Julie have to manhandle that all on her own. Dude, Kill Tony is great, dude. They're down in Austin, and like me and the other comedians kind of talk about it, and the ones that don't have families, I'm like, go down there, man. Like I'm just like, I can't justify going down to Austin unless I actually had a show booked, as opposed to like, I'm just gonna go down there and see if I can get on stage, which I think I could get on stage in Austin, and because there's lots of different mics. I have comedian friends down there, so I think it's possible, but it's just hard to make that sale to Julie and be like, hey, I'm gonna drive 3 hours and I don't know when I'm coming back.
Jesus, I forgot America was that big.
Like, where are you staying? What's it gonna cost? What are you doing this for? Oh, you're gonna go do free shows down in Austin when you can go just do those here for free and not have to have all that, you know? It's like, yeah. So if I ever get booked on a show in Austin, I think then I'd love to go try get my hat on Kill Tony. I think that'd be really cool.
Forget America's that big.
Dude, Texas in and of itself was like 30-year countries.
3 hours, I'd be like North England on the way to Scotland.
It's huge, dude. It's so huge. Like I went to Hawaii once, and I got island fever, dude. I was like, I won't get me off this island because I'm used to where I could just go in a direction and drive for hours and hours and hours and still not, be landlocked. And like on Hawaii, I was like, yeah, we drove around the island 2 hours, ocean on every side of you.
Iskale raided his town, recalling that alongside young Henry, who bravely set out to rescue the children, was an
I'll put this keepsake to note.
Tonight I'm gonna take the kids to a movie, which is gonna be fun.
What are you seeing?
We're gonna go see Inside Out 2. And,
okay.
So we got that. We got like the we ordered the they let you order the popcorn and whatnot earlier. So I was like, oh, we'll get some popcorn.
I might catch you after that. Let me know how it is.
I'm looking forward to it. I like the first one.
I'm going to see a movie tomorrow.
I'm like for my birthday next week. Like thank you Deadpool for releasing. I told Jules like
perfect time.
I want to go see Deadpool on my birthday. Really looking forward to that. I tell you hands down, yeah. Like another thing you kind of just get because I like movies. It's actually one of the things that like as just a hobby or just as something like I like to do is like generally, especially before having kids, like yeah, Sunday, like go to mass, come back, make lunch, put on Lord of the Rings. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the new Alien movie, Alien Echelon, I think it's called.
Romulus, I think it was.
Romulus, that's it. I'm looking forward to that, but I don't know when that's coming out.
Hilly says, what's the difference between a heterosexual man and a bisexual man? And then he ... 4 drinks. Dude, that's so funny, man.
I ended up seeing Twister today. That was actually decent.
That's out now? Like I've been seeing
yeah.
It is, yeah. I've heard that they're like, yeah, we're not putting any political stuff in, and
no, there was nothing.
Right.
It mainly just focused on the damage.
Like if you're gonna put political stuff in, make it a political thriller. Like make it like there's movies that like you remember the 70s political thriller, and even to a degree, like I thought The Winter Soldier was like a reminiscent of a modern political thriller. Like it's not that you can't.
I actually like the way Rambo did it.
Just like let's just keep the real world politics out of it. And we can do analogies, we can make things analogous, but it just seems like
I thought the first Rambo was quite clever with showing PTSD.
What's up?
In soldiers, I thought the first Rambo was clever in showing PTSD in soldiers.
I don't remember that now.
It's when he just starts breaking down. Yeah, he starts breaking down.
Now it's Twisters is the sequel to Twister from like
it's not
the
a sequel,
tornado kind of Twisters.
Yeah.
It's just a remake.
As somebody who lived in Oklahoma and Texas, who we get Twisters, we get these tornadoes. I'm like, yeah, like I like the first one. I heard there was a tribute to Bill Paxton somewhere in the movie.
My girlfriend wants to see it. I may take her sometime soon.
I want to see that. I want to see the Padre Pio movie, and I was talking to somebody on Twitter who said that
I saw Longlegs as well.
That it's on Amazon Prime, and I was like, oh, that's good. I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Taking my son and some family to go see A Quiet Place. What is it called?
Dude.
Day 1 tomorrow.
Oh, I saw that as well.
I don't do horror, man. I just like it.
It's not a horror.
I'm a big horror guy.
Yeah, I know you don't do horror because like when I can't remember what that game was, Scorn, I think.
Dude, it's gross.
And
Scorn.
you were like, no.
Definitely unique.
There's horror and there's also gore, and like they can be totally two different things. Like you could.
Oh yeah, no, there's gore.
Can do horror
there's
and not have gore.
Body horror.
You can go like,
There's horror, body horror, gore horror, and then just.
Was Scorn horror? I thought it was just gore.
No, there is gore.
I mean, there's like jump scares and all kind of other stuff.
Well, yeah, but a lot of times jump scares are cheap.
Yeah.
Longlegs, I thought, Brian, I'm not sure how you would like Longlegs because it is all about satanic sort of panic movie.
I heard that it was supposed to be I think it was Children of the Corn, a new Children of the Corn.
No, it's a Nicolas Cage movie. It's effectively a detective piece.
Fair enough.
That weaves mental illness themes and religion mainly Satanism and like Manson style stuff
So what,
together.
kind of like his Wicker Man?
No, it's more experimental. The Wickerman stuff was a lot creepier, I thought. Like, but I thought the Wickerman was also not as good as the original.
Thank you. I couldn't have fought them off with
Yeah, but to be fair, Wickerman was also really goofy, considering there's a scene where he's running in a bear suit to knock a woman out. The mother of all Nicolas Cage bear jokes.
What was there was I'm not sure if you ever saw the show Legion. One of the
I don't think
guy
I've seen that one.
the guy who played the main actor, I can't remember what movie it's from, but there was he recently, I think it was a few years ago, it was more like a thriller, and it was kind of based off The Wickerman, where he was going to an island. You know, it's very Women in Black opening, and he ends up going to an island filled with like pagans, and I think it's Martin Sheen, no, Michael Sheen, plays the mayor.
Because of his scale.
I'll find it.
So many people.
Well, I know the other horror or suspense type movie coming out in the future I want to see is, what is it, The Watchers, something like that.
I don't mind
The
suspense. Like,
Watchers.
I find like that's the kind of stuff I like suspense and I like thriller. But yeah, like
So what, like Event Horizon?
Mm-hmm.
Like Event Horizon, the original Alien. Ooh, Leviathan. Sorry.
Yeah, original Alien I think does get a little bit more into like horror.
It gets into the suspense horror. Original Alien is definitely more suspense horror.
Yeah.
The second one is more of an action horror.
It's an action. It's just an
If
action.
y'all ever watched Prometheus, which was like the
Yeah.
predecessor to Alien.
Prometheus was okay. It was okay. I definitely am looking forward to seeing what Romulus is, considering this one is... apparently, I did a little bit of research. It takes place between the first and second movie.
Okay. Michael Fassbender is phenomenal, by the way. Like I see.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Michael, I was like, the good dude.
You should check out Macbeth. He ended up playing Macbeth. He ended up doing a Macbeth movie. It's actually really good.
What do we do now?
It's quite hard to follow if you're not used to sort of the Shakespearean, language, and you're like, what? Sometimes I'm like rewinding a scene 3 times just to understand what they've said.
Unrelated, but Hilly, you're not letting that Xbox collect any dust down there, are you?
I have like an unused Xbox here. I got my PlayStation. It's unhooked. I need to go hook that up downstairs so I can finish Final
My
Fantasy VII
PlayStation's
Remake.
unhooked as well.
I'm just asking him because I'm a big Xbox guy, and he occasionally stands up for the Xbox side in Lodo's chat.
I ended up buying another
Xbox isn't
PS5.
doing
That's one of the
themselves
few.
any favors. Like the Game Pass stuff that they
I agree.
It's like, come on, like it's like, I don't know, you see the most simple layup that they could make and it's like, oh, this could be really positive, but they're gonna, like, you know what, we're just gonna foul out and just like and just call it a day. It's like, come on, Xbox.
I feel like some of what they're doing is obvious, and then there's some you're like, man, I really wonder where their head at is. What is the next goal they're working on?
100%. Because
it's kind of hard to
I mean, I stand by what I say. Like, if they decided, they're like, okay, we're gonna raise the price of Ultimate, but we're gonna add, like, we're gonna, and they're doing it to 20 or whatever. Like, no, like just raise it to 25 and add in WoW subscription and ESO's premium subscription. You have those.
Yeah, I said if they raised the 25 for me personally, and keep in mind I've been paying for Game Pass since they introduced it.
Oh yeah, same here.
They're gonna have to add a little more than what they're adding now for me to want to pay 25.
They're not adding anything now.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't
like
have to increase it already.
They're just adding a price, and they're like, oh. So I'm on Ultimate. So like personally, as a father, I get a lot of value out of Game Pass, like a ton of value. But like that, I get that. All right. If someone's like, yeah, I'm just not into Game Pass, I'm like, no judgment, man. Like, no judgment at all. Like, I get it.
For me, it just doesn't add any value because I've got everything, effectively, and anything I don't have, I can get on a Steam Summer Sale for cheaper. So I'm at that position where my digital library is already established. But just looking at the price increase, they didn't need to increase it because they didn't increase the PC price. The PC price is still cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the fact of, I believe I heard the FTC might be going after them again because they said they wouldn't increase the price. But I also heard a recent rumor that the head of EMEA for Xbox effectively said they don't have much of a marketing budget.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, EMEA's what, 3 regions around the globe, very wealthy regions, and you barely have a marketing budget. Excuse me. Yet you're increasing prices.
Yeah.
When you're clearly your market saturation in the rest of the planet is non-existent. So I don't know what they're doing, because you would expect them to have different prices for different parts of the world, depending on the consumption of that region.
I like how cinematic this game is. Just total pivot, guys. It's like doing the camera.
Is that Black Day?
I feel like their practice has changed so much in the last year or two. Like it's just complete different direction. Like they made a sharp turn out of nowhere.
Well,
like you could already tell they weren't doing amazing, but then they were like, yeah, we're kind of changing up our entire everything.
Yeah. Well, here's my question, right? How the hell did they afford Activision Blizzard when they can't even afford a European marketing budget?
Oh, they have.
How did that? How did,
it's just not a priority.
no, but I'm like, how did that conversation
it all
go
comes down
down?
to priorities. It's not about like Microsoft has.
I think they're focused on setting up the future rather than the now. I think they literally don't care how much it's tanking now. They're worried about setting up the future.
No, it's not that. I get it. I get the argument, but it's
like, though. Like when we
how the hell did you get the business case to say we're going to put ourselves 69 billion in debt, yet you can't get a business case together for marketing in Europe?
I wasn't curious why they bought them, but I was curious what made them want to buy them, seeing as how the business is going now.
Yeah.
Like, what was their vision for that, knowing how the business is going? I get it in a vacuum why they would do it, but in their circumstance, I don't understand.
But it's also just the question of, like, is Phil in charge? Like, let's be honest. It seems like Satya is in charge.
Probably for certain things, but not the most important things.
I'm not too sure, because it seems like Xbox.
As far as Phil being in charge of something.
I'd say Xbox seems to be following Microsoft policy, especially in their game development aspect, the 343, contracts.
I think anything that's going to affect financial, they're going to have to, like, company-wide Microsoft policy, like the 18-month contractors and stuff like that. They're probably not going to have a choice in that.
Well, Microsoft just laid off a ton of contractors across the board, and it's just like
employees are the most expensive part of your business.
Yep.
I don't think a marketing budget in Europe, a market you have no relevance in, is a waste for Microsoft. You're going to get more money.
I think it's because they are really trying to find ways to spread their tendrils to all the places it's still not reaching good enough right now. And I think they just keep trying different things to see what kind of works.
If they did, they would have a marketing budget. Because if you're not marketing your games...
Well, they've got the Microsoft bank behind them. If they can manage to waste money now, but build those relationships in the future, it'll be worth the waste of money now.
Well, we're saying that, right? But if they're not willing to invest cash in 3 regions, 3 of the most expensive regions on the planet with all the cash, they're not doing that. They're only focusing on North America. What are they doing?
The only real place they're getting much traction.
Yeah. What are they doing? Like, you would expect to be focusing on markets and trying to break into markets that they have no traction in. And they're just not doing it. PlayStation dominates Europe.
I think when it comes to non-American countries, though, those people are so much more nationalized, so much more culturally different, and very not open to a lot of change. They're not open to, we didn't like this before, let's give it a try anyway. They're kind of like, they like what they already like. And they're not big on change. Not every country to the east, but I'd say a majority of them.
I'm going to be honest, most European nations are fairly similar culturally, like in terms of taste. Like, you have to get a different strategy.
So I need to go make the kids some dinner, and so that's what I'm going to go do. And I wish we could keep having this conversation. I love these things. So I'll
bring it up next time.
Be sure to ring the bell or be a part of the Discord so you get the notification when the next time I can stream them. We might do some streaming tomorrow. I don't know. Generally over the weekends, like, I like getting some game time in and more. But the guys, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the conversation. I'm glad, Hilly. Thank you so much for the information. So I'm gonna do a little bit more investigation on that and see if anybody else is having that kind of problem or if there's something I need to fix on my end. And yeah, I'm glad you're here in the Discord as well. So guys, if you watch this all the way to the end of the VOD, thank you. This is incredible. So I hope you enjoyed the live stream. We got more of this. I actually really like the game. Like, it's fun. I don't feel this insane draw to constantly be playing it, and that's going to be interesting to see how it feels when it officially launches and releases. But it feels like if the quality right now feels great, and honestly, it doesn't also feel like it's going through my pockets. That being said, in September, it's a free-to-play game. I don't know if it will, change and feel different or more, but either way, so far, I'm going to keep leveling and enjoy my time. So, all right, chat and stream, I'm going to hit finish, and I will see you guys next time.
Yep, catch you later.
All right.